Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to Savvy Newsbyte, where we bring the world to you one story at a time. I am Amuli Dartla. Just recently, President Trump announced new tariffs on products from different countries around the world, like China, Canada, and Mexico. That means things like electric cars, batteries, and steel are going to cost more. But why is this happening? And what does it mean for us? Well, today we're going to explain what's going on, what tariffs are, and how this trade war started between the U.S. and China. Wait, before we start, if you love learning with me, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss my videos. And also, remember to like, share and subscribe for more awesome stories like this. Alright, let's dive into our topic without further delay. Okay, let's start with the basics. A tariff is a tax that one country puts on products from another country. So, when a product comes from China to the U.S., the U.S. government can add a little extra cost called a tariff to make it more expensive. Let's say you own a toy store. You buy toys from China and you sell them to people in your town. But now, the government says if you buy toys from China, you have to pay an extra tax. That's the tariff. This means toys from China get more expensive. People might stop buying Chinese toys and start buying toys made in the US instead. And that's what tariffs are supposed to do. They make things from other countries more expensive, so people buy local stuff. Sounds easy, right? But here's the thing. When one country adds a tariff, the other country might add one too. So, if the US adds tariffs to Chinese products, China might decide to add tariffs on American products in return. To understand why tariffs are in the news now, let's take a quick trip back in the time to the 1970s. The US and China weren't really friends back then. In 1972, President Nixon went to China to meet their leader, and they agreed to start trading with each other. In the 1980s and the 1990s, American companies realized it was cheaper to make things in China. Factories were built there. And by 2001, China officially joined the World Trade Organization, which made it even easier for the US and China to trade. So the US was buying a lot from China, everything from toys to clothes and even electronics. Here's the issue. By 2010, the US was buying way more stuff from China than China was buying from the US. That meant billions of dollars flowed out of America and into China. This created a trade imbalance. It was like China was winning the trade game. And some people in the US started to complain. This is unfair. China is selling too cheaply which hurt American businesses. China is taking our jobs. China is cheating in the trade. The government started accusing China of 1. Selling things too cheaply. 2. Stealing American technology and ideas. 3. Not letting American companies sell freely in China. So by 2018, President Trump said enough is enough and decided to make a change. He put tariffs on lots of Chinese goods to make them more expensive and encourage people to buy American products instead. Trump's tariffs started a trade war between the U.S. and China. The U.S. added tariffs on China's goods, and guess what? China added tariffs on American goods like cars and soybeans in return. Some U.S. farmers, for example, lost a lot of money because China added tariffs on American soybeans, so they couldn't sell them as easily. But it didn't stop there. Both countries raised their tariffs over and over again, and people started paying more for things in the store. It felt like a big never-ending game of I'll make you pay more if you make me pay more. In 2020, the US and China made a trade deal to stop some of the fighting. China agreed to buy more American products and the US promised to lower some tariffs. But even though they made a deal, tariffs are still around today because 1. The 2020 deal didn't remove all tariffs. It only solved some trade issues. 2. The US still had issues with China's unfair trade and stolen ideas. Tariffs protected American businesses by reducing Chinese competition, so some US industries wanted tariffs to stay. 4. COVID-19 changed priorities. Trade talks weren't a priority. 5. New problems kept coming. The US and China still didn't fully agree on trade rules. That's why in 2025, Trump is adding new tariffs again. Additionally, reciprocal tariffs have come into play. Reciprocal tariffs simply mean if you tax our stuff, we'll tax yours too. For example, if China charges a 10% tax on US cars, the US will charge a 10% tax on Chinese cars too. This is meant to make trade fair, but it can make things more expensive and cause more trade fights. Now, not just the US and China, but also Canada, Mexico, India, and some European countries are involved. So, what happens next? We don't really know. The US and other countries, including China, could continue to fight with tariffs, or maybe they'll come to a new agreement. We need to wait and see. Now, you might be wondering, how does all of this affect you and me? Well, Trump's tariffs can make things more expensive for us. Stuff like clothes, toys, and electronics could cost more. Some businesses may struggle and some may grow, which can change jobs. Tariffs can also lead to trade wars around the world, making prices even higher everywhere in the world. So, U.S. tariffs can affect our daily life. Watch out for them. So that's tariffs and U.S. China Trade War story for you. Thanks for watching this important story. If you learned something new, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll always know when I post new videos. Like, share and subscribe for more cool stories. Stay informed the Savvy way and see you next time.